Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading I want to ask the cards and Spirit directly through channeling about what's next in love for you, what's next in your love life, what's going to happen next. And I have five groups here that you can choose from. This will be group number 1, this will be group number 2, this will be group number 3, this will be group number 4, and this will be group number 5. And so I will ask you to use your intuition and choose the group that speaks to you the most, the group that catches your eye, and that group will be your group. And if you need any more time to choose, you can always just pause the video, but if you don't need any more time, then I'll just move on to the reading. Hello group number 1, you chose this Yolanda tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling and then I will shuffle the cards for you. Group number 1. So group number 1, the people who will choose group number 1, what's next in love for group number 1? Okay, so I got two two scenes playing in my head. The one scene is the Yippee-ki-yay motherfucker scene from Die Hard, and the other scene is from The Shining, the Here's Johnny scene. Both those scenes are not particularly good scenes in this context, or in the context of love. It could be too, like, it's a bit strange in this. Okay, so there could be two messages here. Either, of course, this could also just mean, like, in both of those scenes, it's about a person who is coming in very shockingly, like as a surprise. Like, so it could also it could be a milder message that just means that it's gonna, like, love is gonna hit you as a bit of a surprise. That it's gonna be like suddenly it's there, but of course it kind of makes me think that maybe the person who's coming into your life is maybe not the best counterpart for you, even though of course Jack Nicholson and sorry, I don't remember the name of the guy from Die Hard, which is weird why I can't remember that right now, but that doesn't matter. But they are both handsome people, so. And so it seems as if someone is coming into your life, into your love life. It's gonna be a bit. It's gonna be a bit of a surprise. It's gonna hit you very, very. It's gonna be a surprise. It's gonna be very you're not gonna see it coming. It's maybe you're also gonna meet maybe this person who's coming into your life is maybe someone you're gonna meet at a very strange place, like a place that you wouldn't have expected to meet anyone, like Maybe some of you have been looking for love for a while now, and so maybe some of you have been on Tinder and stuff like that, and maybe it hasn't been working out as you had hoped for, and so you might be giving up hope right now, some of you, because you've been looking but you haven't found anything. But maybe as soon as you stop looking, it's gonna hit you in the face. And like the love is gonna hit you in the face. I'm not sensing domestic violence here. I'm not sensing it. Like I think sometimes spirit talks to me in symbolic ways that sometimes sound a bit more brutal than they actually are. And so I think it's just gonna come as a surprise to you, that you'll find love quite soon, actually, and fall in love quite soon, and it's gonna be an unexpected kind of love, where maybe you will even fall in love with someone you hadn't pictured yourself fall in love with, like a type of person who you usually never fall in love with. So it doesn't have to be the typical bad guy type, even though it seems as if there's a theme here. But I'm not gonna go with that theme, because I don't think the person you're gonna fall in love with next is not gonna be anything like those characters from those movies. And of course, like of course, Jack Nicholson is maybe but the guy from Die Hard, like, not a bad guy. Like, so it's not Jack Nicholson in The Shining. I don't remember The Shining right now. It's a very long time since I saw that movie, but I don't think, like, he wasn't all bad. I don't remember. I don't remember his character. Like, he was the main character, but then he wasn't, or like he. But I'm just, yeah, maybe that's a message. Like, I think you, like, in your love life, I think when it comes to your love life, I think you might not have been the main character in your own love life for a very long time, or forever. Like, maybe you've never actually been the main character. Maybe you have always been waiting for the main character to come in to your love life and kind of take charge of it. And maybe you need to act more as the main character in your own love life. Take more charge. Don't wait around for other, like, I think you have been searching for love, but I think you still have been, like, maybe you've been choosing, like, the people, like, if you have Tinder, maybe you have paid for the gold edition of the Tinder, so that you could see who is matching with you before you match, like, who liked you, and then you can like them back. And that is the complete, like, that is a great example of someone who's not the main character of their own love life. Then you're just waiting for someone to like you, and then you can like them back. Like, but you have to sort of change the game and start actually liking people first. go out to people, talk to people, find someone sexy and just go for it, instead of waiting for them to show interest so that you dare to take that leap of faith and take that next step. Like sometimes we have to just go for it, even if we're not sure how the other person is gonna react, because how on earth are we gonna know if we don't try? And of course we're waiting for someone else to take that leap of faith for us, and that's not really fair for them either. Like you shouldn't put them in that position just because you feel uncomfortable in it. But I'm sensing like your you are gonna like you're gonna there is gonna happen something soon that will change the course of your love life. So I'm sensing someone's coming. This person could have a foreign accent. Like I'm just sensing an accent, even though Jack Nicholson or the guy from Die Hard, they didn't. So and like, but I'm just sensing an accent, a foreign accent, maybe a French accent, or a European accent. So this person's name could start with the letter T. So Timmy, Tom, Tobias, Toby, Tristan, but it doesn't have to be with a T, it's just something that came through. It could be someone you already know, but it's not the case for all of you. But for some of you, I think this is someone who's already in your life, but it seems as if this person's still going to come into your life. Like even though he or she is already in your life, it's as if they are going to maybe they are going to do something that's gonna come as a surprise to you. Like maybe there is someone who's in your immediate environment who's into you and you don't know it, and so they will maybe ask you out, or but again, you have to be the main character, so I'm not sensing that. Well, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe this person is gonna be the main character. That would also make sense. That maybe this person is gonna take charge and ask you out, and but of course, if you're not into it, don't just say yes just because you feel like you have to, or like if you're not, of course, there is a possibility that the person who's gonna ask you out in the immediate future, or not immediate, but like in the next 3 months or so, it's maybe not gonna be your ideal partner again with those two scenes from those two movies. Maybe, like, if you're not interested, don't, like, that's also the thing, like, they were unwelcome, so it's an, okay, yeah, so someone might come into your life who's not necessarily welcome, not that they are gonna be, like, murderous people who's, like, it's not that, it's more that maybe someone's gonna ask you out, but you really kind of don't want to, and maybe they're gonna be a bit persistent with this, but you just have to be true to yourself, and just if you don't want to go out with them, just say so. Don't get tangled into any spider webs if you don't want to. This is a strange reading. I'm very sorry that the message is not very clear here. I am very much aware of the lack of clarity. It seems as if it's even more confusing than anything else, but I'm just sensing there is some advice here. There is some advice that you need to take charge, that you shouldn't accept the first offer that comes along, that you should take charge of your own love life and ask someone out that you want to ask out, instead of accepting someone else who's asking you out. Like, maybe say no to the next person who asks you, especially if they have especially if you notice certain red flags about them. Or if they are just a bit creepy, like if someone comes along and they are a bit creepy, of course, go with your first instinct and just reject them. Yeah, so strength. I am sensing that, yeah, you will have, you will possibly have a chance with someone who is a fire sign, a Leo, Aries, or a Sagittarius. I was also getting Virgo and Taurus, so it kind of all the signs I know, but I'm just, these are the signs that came through, and I'm sensing that if this person is a fire sign, this person could be a handful, a bit much, a bit over the top, a bit intense, and the intensity is maybe not really what you want in your life right now. But of course, intensity can also be very passionate, and so yeah. I'm sensing that you, there's also 2 rabbits here, so there is something about rabbits, of course, like, or give me an association to fast moving because of the hair, not necessarily rabbits, but I'm just sensing that within the next maybe 3 months, you will maybe be, you will maybe get an offer from someone, maybe on Tinder, maybe someone will even text you over Facebook or Instagram or something like that. Someone will text you. I'm sensing it's more likely that it's written, a written text that you're gonna get from someone, and it's gonna be unexpected. It's maybe also gonna be in the middle of the night. It's very likely it's gonna be in the middle of the night, and that's also like a red flag when someone texts you in the middle of the night, especially on a weekend, because it's very likely not serious. It's just drunken idiocy, but yeah, it seems as if someone's gonna maybe drunk text you. Don't fall for it. Or text you in the middle of the night, even if they're not drunk. It could just be like insomnia-induced texting. That happens, I guess. And so, like the guy from The Shining, didn't he suffer from insomnia? I'm not sure. Maybe that was another movie. But yeah, so I'm just sensing that you will that you shouldn't do anything hasty. Like if you get that text in the middle of the night, wait until the next morning to text them back. Don't text them back right away. Play a bit hard to get, I guess. Wouldn't hurt to do that. So I'm just sensing, give it a bit of time. Don't make any rapid decisions with a rapid, yeah, you get it. So be a bit more, wait it out. I guess you should just wait it out a bit. Also, this Leo lion here, he has a tail, and the tail is a snake. So this could be a message that for those of you who are dealing with a Leo right now, and you know who it is, and you know that this reading is possibly talking about this person, then maybe be a bit watchful, because he could be a bit of a snake, or he or she could be a bit of a snake. There could be some bad intentions, not necessarily like bad, like, but I'm just sensing that maybe this person isn't really that serious when it comes to love. This person could be more the type who would say whatever in order to get what they want, and so it's a bit of a fake energy, a bit like this person like if this person is already in your life, I think you might have already experienced some frustrating situations with this person where this person has texted you in the middle of the night, and then you haven't heard from them in weeks, but then they text you in the middle of the night, and like you text them and they don't text you back, and so it's like this thing where you're the one who's always available, but this person is never available, or this person is only available when it fits them. And so always, like if you experience that with a person, it's a very typical red flag. And you should really hit the road, because the person is never gonna have empathy for you. The person is never gonna treat you the way you are supposed to be treated, because they are gonna think about themselves first at all times. And so it's not that this person is necessarily completely selfish or narcissistic or anything like that. I am sensing a bit of a toxic energy from this person, but I don't think this person is necessarily that bad. But I'm just sensing that this person doesn't have, maybe it's just because this person, like they see you as more of a chew toy, something they can yeah, it's just not, I'm just not sensing that this person has genuine intentions or feelings. But I'm not really sure if they know that themselves. Like this is the type of person who could actually end up in a relationship with you and end up getting married with you and having children with you without even realizing that they don't actually have genuine feelings for you. And so it's kind of like this thing where sometimes people don't realize their own lack of feelings, like they kid themselves into believing that they actually have feelings when they don't. And so of course they can fool you because they are able to fool themselves. And so it's kind of it's kind of hard to really figure out what's what in this, because in a way I feel like like this person who's coming into your life is not a bad bet for you for some reason that I don't understand, because I feel like the spirit has shown me all these worst case scenarios, really, like and it seems as if the spirit keeps associating this person with some creepy characters, but I'm just not. But I still feel like you're not the oddest couple. In a way, like I'm actually sensing that there could be a love story here, and it's a weird one, and I would usually warn you. Like when I get these sorts of messages, I always feel like I have to warn you from this person, but in this case I don't know if it's because I'm feeling romantic right now and I don't know, but that would be a first for me, because I usually I usually paint the devil on the wall. Like I don't know if that idiom translates, but like I usually see the worst in people, especially men. but I'm just sensing here that if this person texts you, or if this person texts you on, maybe if this isn't someone you already know, this could be someone from Tinder who's gonna write you, and maybe your first instinct is gonna be, well, that's not the typical type that you go for. But I feel like maybe it's okay to give this person a chance, because even though this person is a bit creepy, it's not necessarily that creepy. It could be a facade. It could be like this person could very well be very into movies, and so maybe that's the whole theme here. It's not that this person is like those characters, but that this person these characters, that he sees these characters as role models. So maybe this person kind of imitate certain behavior that they've seen in movies, and maybe it's not good behavior that this person is mimicking, but maybe it's not who they are as a person underneath. Like so with a Five of Cups reversed, it seems as if, yeah, okay, so you're gonna be faced with a certain situation in your love life within the next, maybe the next 3 months or 6 months, I'm not sure. But either way, it's kind of like, it's still very short, a very short while from now, especially with the pandemic and all of that. It kind of makes time, it's changed time into this weird thing where time practically go faster than ever. Like it's so like 6 months from now, like in my point of view, I think that's very a very short amount of time, but everything's relative, I guess. But and that's also the thing. Like maybe maybe 6 months from now is a very long time for you, and so maybe that's not the message for you. If that, maybe it is a relative message where it's just a short amount of time, but it's what you would think as a short amount of time, what you would categorize as a short amount of time. And so but I'm just sensing that you will be faced with a situation where you will have to look at the glass half full instead of half empty, and I don't think you are used to doing that. I think you're used to being a bit more critical, which is a good thing. It's a good defense mechanism. It's a survival mechanism, really. It's what's kept you alive until now, I guess. But and it will keep you alive. I'm not saying this person's gonna kill you, or I don't think so. Definitely not. Definitely not. This person is not gonna kill you. Don't be worried about that. If you're no, don't. So I'm just, because I'm sensing that there is some advice here that you have to look at the glass half full instead of half empty, and you're, even though this, like I think someone is gonna give you an offer very soon, and I think I know this reading has been all over the place, but I'm just gonna. The conclusion here is that I think you should think about it. Don't make any rash decisions though. Like don't text the person back like right away, but don't close the door immediately on them without giving it a shot first. Feel them out. Feel out what their true intentions are. Ask them directly what their intentions are. If they write you in the middle of the night, of course, then maybe you could actually text them back, but do it in a way where maybe you interrogate them instead of just writing, "Oh, I want to see you again, and let's be lovey-dovey." Again, this person could be an ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend. I'm very sorry if that's not the message you want, but it could be, definitely could be. And if you have had, like, if there's someone in your past that in any way reminds you of Jack Nicholson in The Shining, or the guy from Die Hard, then what's the name of the guy from Die Hard? It bothers me so much. Like, is it Ben or Ben something, or it's a very short name. Yeah. Sorry, but with the Chariot reversed, yeah, don't make any rash. Don't. It's not. Maybe you're not in. Maybe some of you are not in the headspace right now for love, and in that case, I think you need to focus on yourself instead of your love life, and instead of finding love, maybe prioritize your own self-care instead. You could humor someone. That's also, like, sometimes it's like people are dicks all the time. There are dicks all over the place and everywhere. People, like, especially men, I guess, yeah. Women too. I know there are women out there who are just as toxic and just as much of a tease, and just as much of a, like, all of that. That is, I know, but people play with other people's feelings, and people, like, it wouldn't hurt if you did this. Like, I know that we shouldn't stoop to that level, but if this person came into your life again, especially if this person is a bit of a dick but still has some qualities that are nice, then don't be afraid of being a dick back. And that's maybe the only right way to really handle a person like this. If this rings a bell with you, like, but I'm just sensing that if someone texts you and it's either someone new or someone you already know, but this person is a bit toxic, or a bit, like, a bit playing hard to get or whatever, then play hard to get back. Like call them when you have, like, that's also the thing, like if you don't have the time or the headspace for love right now, and then someone comes in and texts you within the next 3 months, then you don't have to reject them. You don't have to accept the love offer either. You can actually just play around with it, and play along, and just be an unserious dick to them, because they would do the same to you. So why not do it? I don't know. It doesn't seem as the best relationship, but with a four of swords, take some time, calm, have some peace of mind, meditate, live a little, have your do your self-care routine, pamper yourself. Yeah, I guess in all of this, like, chill out. Don't take your love life too seriously. Don't let your love is not supposed to be a chore. It's supposed to be fun and entertaining. If it's not fun and entertaining, then it's not worth it. So have fun with it, I guess. Like, don't take it too seriously, and focus mostly on yourself and your and put boundaries up for yourself. Like, this person has like four swords around him because he has created boundaries, and within the boundaries he is doing the impossible. He's floating in the air, and the only reason why he's capable of doing that is because he has created those boundaries. And so maybe you're supposed to create certain boundaries and maybe this is a test. Maybe this is like this person who's coming into your life, maybe it's a test, maybe it's a karmic, but every karmic relationship, there's something we have to learn from it. And I'm just sensing that you're supposed to learn to set boundaries. Like, maybe you have a history of allowing people to walk all over you and use you as a step thing, whatever, like I don't know. But and maybe you're supposed to take charge and be the main character of your own love story, and don't let anyone walk all over you. Actually do the opposite, because I know you shouldn't walk all over another person, because then you're part of the problem. I get it, but sometimes there's this equilibrium that has to be created in the world, and in our life, and we are supposed to have this thesis and this antithesis, and to be able to create synthesis, yeah, and like going from one, sometimes it's you have to go from one extreme directly to the other extreme in order to create equilibrium, in order to create balance in the world, and on a smaller scale in your life. But I'm just sensing you're supposed to maybe rebel a bit against your rebel against your old ways. Maybe you used to be a people pleaser, a pushover. Maybe you have been too available for people, and allowed people to just text you in the middle of the night. even though it was a bad time, even though you were asleep, you would still text them back because you felt like you had to or something. And you had to be available to everyone, and you had to be this like, I don't know, but this support system for the whole world. And maybe you're not supposed to be that. Maybe you're supposed to kind of like, maybe you're supposed to rebel a bit and become and have a bit of a phase in your life right now where you're going to be the complete opposite, and where you can maybe humor this a bit, and maybe this take a period of time where you're the dick, where you play with people's feelings, and where you call people back when you feel like it instead of just calling them right away, and where you play hard to get, and where you do all these toxic things towards other people, even though I know you probably have too much empathy to do that, and you would feel very bad if you did it. But maybe it's a good exercise to, I don't know. But Eight of Swords, yeah, I think you have a certain amount of fear when it comes to I'm sensing that some of you have fear when it comes to relationships, but it's possibly because of your past, where you feel like maybe you're afraid afraid of getting into a relationship because you used to be on the losing end of every relationship or friendship, like every relationship or friendship that you've been in. Maybe you've always been, or maybe you've always felt like you were the losing part, like the part that you were doing a lot for others, but the people never did the same for you, or that you were always the person who needed the other one more than the other one needed you, and so you always felt like you were in minus, and that your partner or your friend or whatever always were in plus, and so they could always do whatever towards you, and you would always forgive them. But if you did something horrible, or just not necessarily horrible, but just not very pleasant towards them, they wouldn't forgive you for it. They would just cut you out, and so you might have always felt like that you are always at the losing end, like you're always the one that can be terminated from, like that you're the one that is not that you. And maybe you need to learn a bit more self-respect and become, and maybe this is the exercise where people, like it seems very unfair, I get it, that you feel like everyone else sees you as someone who's just, who's not a priority, who's someone they can behave just as they want to behave towards, like that you, but it's because you allow them to do that, like you're you shouldn't forgive people that easily, and maybe that's the whole trap here, where maybe you've forgiven people too fast and too quick, and that you need to set boundaries for others, and tell people that certain behavior is not acceptable in your book, and be that person who's not afraid of closing the door on a person if they do something to you that's not acceptable in your book, And starting to do that, starting to create those boundaries could very well be what saves you in the other end, where you could actually take this person who's a bit toxic, who will be texting you in the next whatever, in the next 6 months or so. You could actually turn that whole situation upside down and actually get a healthy relationship out of it if you set the right boundaries from the get-go, so that they know that they can't just treat you in whatever way they want to treat you. Set the record straight from the beginning. Like make the person know that you're not available when they want to reach out to you. That they have to stay in line and wait for their turn, and that you're not gonna just drop everything that you have in your hands just to help them or talk to them or whatever. And with the Five of Pentacles reversed, I'm just sensing that you're very likely going to have a very like, if you play your cards right with this person, you could have a good, solid relationship, where you would actually be, maybe because you also have this card here, when it's upright, it's the outsider card, and when it's reversed, I guess it's someone who's an insider, and so I'm sensing that there's also a possibility that you will actually get this person on a deeper level, maybe also because some certain things about them are actually certain things that you have in you, that you can mirror in a way, but you probably shouldn't because they are a bit toxic. But it's very likely certain shadow sides of yourself that you have neglected or that you have pushed down and that you don't want to face. And so meeting this person would help you face those shadow sides and actually maybe realize that you have been maybe doing the wrong thing by putting them into a cave and not really allowing them to come out, because certain like, you're a good person. I can really sense that you are a very good person. You seem to have a lot of empathy, and you seem to care deeply for others, and so there is a very good energy here from you. But I'm also like, sometimes goodness can be in excess, and everything in excess is a bad thing. And so excessive goodness can also become toxic. Excess positivity can become toxic. Positivity. So like, sometimes it's good to get sometimes it's a balance. Like, sometimes repressing emotions are just gonna make them bottled up inside and make you miserable over time. And sometimes it's good to get those emotions out and really and have someone who can actually be a bit of a beanbag to push on, not a beanbag, but like kind of someone you can, a boxing bag or whatever, but like someone you can I am perfectly aware that this sounds very toxic, but sometimes it's good to have someone to get your frustrations out on, and sometimes it's good to have someone who is also a bit toxic, who also gets their frustrations, or puts their frustrations out on you. Of course, not if it's physical, but I don't sense it's physical. It could be verbal, but I'm just sensing that sometimes it's good to have a verbally abusive relationship, I guess, but because it can make you get those frustrations out that are bottled inside. I don't know. 5 of Wands. There is a volcano here in the background, and so yeah, I'm sensing that that you have a volcano inside of you. It seems as if you have a lot of there is something bottled up inside of you, and maybe you have, maybe it's actually a good thing to find some bad guy or whatever, just to get that, or bad boy, I guess that's the term of it, I don't know, but like someone who's a bit more edgy, I guess, who you can kind of match, who can kind of match with your energy on a deeper level, the energy that you have not faced, the energy that you are suppressing inside of you, because it might give it an outlet, I guess, and make you, maybe you just need to fight with someone. Sometimes that's all we need, really. Like, sometimes we don't need love, sometimes we don't need romance, we just need someone to bitch with, and also bitch about, but also maybe bitch with, like someone you can someone you can talk about your frustrations with, like someone who's a bit of a negative Nancy too, so that you understand each other, and so that you can kind of also make fun of other people who you are frustrated with together, and be that toxic couple that like those are actually very, like, it's an interesting thing, because like I know one couple who's like that, a couple actually in my family, who, like, they've been married for many years, like maybe, I don't know, 20-30 years, and so it's very, like, no, probably 30, more likely 30, but they have this like they just talk shit about everyone together, like that's their thing, like and it seems as if, like, that's the glue that keeps the relationship going, is that they just bitch about everyone and talk shit about everyone and laugh about everyone, and in a way it's maybe that's love, you know, like finding that one person that you can bitch about everyone in the world with. Maybe that is, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe toxicity is not always a bad thing, especially when we are toxic ourselves. We might need someone who's toxic too, so that we can kind of be toxic together and just live a toxic life together in a beautiful symbiosis of just toxicity, and it's wonderful. But 6 of Pentacles reversed. I am sensing that it's not gonna be like it seems as if this whole thing that's gonna occur within the next 6 months or 3 months or whatever is gonna be a bit like you're gonna have a hard time figuring out when to, like, as I said before, like with it's gonna be a calculation thing where you will have to calculate when the right time is. Like when they text you, you have to wait a while before texting them back, and so it's all gonna be this game, I guess. It's gonna be a game where you will have to play chess in a way with this person and figure out when, and it's probably gonna be a bit. It's gonna be a whole math class, I guess, and where you will have to calculate, and it's not necessarily gonna be the easiest thing to realize or to figure this out. But I'm just sensing that if you're up to it. Maybe it could be like some of you might actually find this soothing, like strategizing and doing stuff like that could actually be soothing for you, some of you, because maybe you have a bit of a lack, maybe you lack calculations in your life, like having something like this could be like your Sudoku, like figuring this out could be actually calming in a way. I don't know, but yeah, but my conclusion is there's definitely gonna happen something pretty soon in your love life. And yeah, it's very much like the course of your love life, of course, is very determined of what you do, and that's of course the message in everything. Like you're like there's yeah. So, but this is the message. I know it was all over the place, but that happens sometimes. I hope you figured some of it out. Like, but yeah. But that's all I have for you. Group number 1. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, or even if it wasn't, subscribe to my channel, because represent, like, even if it wasn't, like, but yeah. So. Yeah, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more info on that. And yeah, I hope to see you in my next reading, and bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose the Hermetic Tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So group number 2, the people who will choose group number 2. Group number 2. What's gonna happen next in love, in group number 2's love life? What's gonna happen next? Group number 2 in their love life. There is a specific message for some of you. I'm just gonna get it all out now, so that I can go talk about the general reading. But yeah, I have a specific message for some of you that you are waiting for a trial about a person who raped you, and I'm very sorry that happened to you. But there will be news very soon. Not necessarily that soon. It could be within the next 6 months. But there will be some testimony that it's gonna be very. It's gonna shed light on the case, and it's gonna. I think it's gonna work out in your favor. so don't worry too much. There is gonna be of course there could be certain allegations towards you in the middle of the testimony that will be very it will be very devastating for you. Try not to let it get to you, because I think most people already know that most people will know that these are allegations that are not necessarily true, and that people will believe you and believe in your testimony more than they believe in this other person's testimony. And so it's don't think this is lost, that you've lost already. There seems to be something that will come up about this, and so it's gonna be devastating, but also good for your case. So there's like this double thing where at first you will be very, very crushed, but then you will realize that it was actually a blessing in disguise, because it shed light on something that actually might win you the case. So don't be afraid of that. So one other douchebag will get, it's actually very good. I'm glad, because it seems as if there's actually gonna be justice that will be served here, and so I'm glad that someone will get what they deserve. So, but yeah, so I just wanted to reassure you that, like, don't lose hope about this. There is gonna be a revelation of some kind that will come out very soon about this, and you will. Yeah. So, but that's a specific message for one of you or two of you. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way. So I'll just okay. So. With the Seven of Pentacles, don't be alarmed, even though it says success unfulfilled. I don't believe that is. Seven of Pentacles is not. It's about patience. It's about waiting, and I'm just sensing that you should just be patient. That you're. Don't lose patience in all of this. There is, and also keep on, don't give up. Don't give up already. Like there is also one thing that you can do about this. Like if you've already, like if you put your case, if you have made a police report and it was for whatever reason lost, maybe that they dropped it or something, you can open it again. Like there seems to be a back door that you can go through, and maybe you need to figure that out, because there might be a solution that you haven't thought about yet, and maybe you need to talk to someone, maybe a lawyer, about this, or a consultant, someone you can consult with, maybe a hotline. There could be a hotline that could be very helpful to you, that has to do with court cases, or a victim hotline for victims of crime, or not a rape hotline, I guess, because I'm not sensing that's what. Of course, that could be helpful too, but I'm just sensing that you will have some more practical help if you contacted some hotline for victims of crime and people who have court cases, and yeah. So there could be some advice that you need to seek out from a professional, and don't be afraid of doing that. Don't feel like you're wasting anyone's time, because that's what their job is. They have a job to provide you with advice, legal advice, and so it's their job. So so use it, like, even though it's free and all of that, like, use it. Use everything that is free and everything that you can go to for, like, every sort of advice you can find, and seek out, especially if it's free services. Just do it. Don't be afraid of calling a free hotline about this. It's gonna just get all the advice that you can find, and because you can't, of course, you might have, if you've already lost this case once, like, don't feel bad about it, because you are one person and you're a person, like, you're just a normal person. You don't, it's not it's not, don't be too hard on yourself, that you might not have known these things that you will know if you call a hotline, because you didn't know it at the time, and there's nothing wrong with not knowing legal things. Like, no one's supposed to, like, a victim who comes, a victim to a crime who comes up and makes a testimony to the police. Is testimony the right word for it? Like, but when you say certain things to the police, and the police interrogates you, like, you're, of course, you're gonna say some of the wrong things, because that's because you're human. You're gonna say the wrong things because you don't know what the right things are, because you of course don't have a legal background. You don't know what information to withhold from the police, and that is a good thing. Like, it's not, we're not supposed to know what's gonna fuck up our case, because, like, that would be some and don't beat yourself up if you accidentally said something that then ended up being used against you, because it's not your job to say all the right things. It's their job to figure out the truth. They are not, like, that's also, like, the police. It's horrible. It's horrible how the police works, where they interrogate the victims only to find dirt on them, so that they don't have to follow through with the case. And that is what's faulty about the police system and the legal system, and that is, but don't, just because the whole system is rigged, doesn't mean that you should feel bad about not knowing the rules of the game. You're just a person. You're gonna tell people the truth, even if you don't, if it's so don't beat yourself up. You said that you told the truth. They chose to use that against you. It doesn't, like, but there seems to be a back door that you can that is available to you to fix this, and I would recommend that you call a hotline and get some advice on how to go further with this case. So yeah, but that was just one specific message for one or two of you. So I'm just gonna go further with the general reading now that I've gotten that out of the way. Five of Cups, loss in pleasure, is the message on the card. Yeah, I think in the next, your love life for all of you, even if this specific message didn't resonate with you, I am sensing that for the next 6 months or so, I'm not sensing that your love life is gonna. I'm not sensing a lot of blossoming in your love life. Not a lot of, like, I'm just sensing there are other things, that other more pressing matters that you should focus on, and it could have something to do with this legal case. And if others of you don't have a legal case, it could just be that you need some healing from something that happened to you in the past, and that you should allow yourself to have that healing, and allow yourself to, like, don't be too hard on yourself, that you're still healing from the past. Like, don't feel like there's something wrong with you, that you can't move forward. Maybe someone in your life is trying to make you feel wrong, that there's something wrong with you because you're still caught up with the past. But don't listen to that person, because the person it doesn't know the whole story, and the person is like the person is not you. Like, they can't really they don't know what's best for you, because they are not within your body. They are not living your life, and so you are the only one who knows when you're ready for love, and when the right time comes. Like, but I'm just sensing for many of you, you need more time to heal yourself from something that happened in the past. It could have been an ex. It could have been someone who raped you. Even if you're not thinking of making a legal case out of it, that's also fine. Like, you don't feel pressured to do that just because I've been talking about a legal case. Don't feel pushed towards doing that if that's not what you want to do. You do what's best for you. Don't feel like you have some obligations to all the people of your gender, like all whatever gender you are. Don't feel like you have some kind of obligation to come forward and speak on the behalf of other victims who went through the same as you. You don't have to be that warrior if you don't want to be. You have your own free will to do whatever is best for you. If it's best, like I have been through this myself. I've made a police report against someone, and it didn't, and it was a horrible. It was a horrible experience. Mildly said, it was completely out of this world, surreal. Honestly, I had a police officer who interrogated me. A woman, of course, because they are the worst. The female police officers are the worst. The interrogation went like this. I came in. I told what happened to me, and I told it in detail, which was brutal. There was a lot of blood involved, and it was not a pleasant scene. She said that it didn't sound like rape. It just sounded like bad sex. That it was bad sex, not rape, even though there. And I said, like, I don't really. I wouldn't associate blood with bad sex. just like that's not my personal. But okay, so she kept on going with that theory that it was just bad sex, and that it was just rough sex, and that and she even said, like at the end of the interrogation, she said, like the whole interrogation was completely terrible, but then at the end, like I was grasping after straws here, but like I said, like as in the end I said, like but what if my rapist ends up raping someone else? Like, what if this happens again? And she said, well, maybe the next woman will like it. Yeah, maybe the next woman will like it. And this, like this whole experience, like it was surreal. I thought I was in a movie. I didn't, like this was completely. She also at some point, like I told about how the person who raped me, how he had crossed my boundaries several times before he actually went this next step and raped me. I told her that he had done several things to overstep my boundaries before, and so I told about that in details as well. And then she said, like, that I was really good at talking about the things that I didn't like, but did I? She said like, she asked me if I ever had thought about what he liked, instead of just thinking about what I liked or what I didn't like. That maybe he wouldn't have raped me if I had done more to please him. Yeah. This, of course, this police officer was a total psychopath, like a textbook psychopath. I know that now, but like afterwards, so like I did this was worse than the rape. This was a worse experience than the rape, and I even had I had a lawyer or like an assigned lawyer with me who in the interrogation, who I don't know if he was like, why he was not doing anything. Like he didn't do anything. Like he didn't say anything to her. He's just sat there quietly. I don't understand why he didn't object to any of this. But yeah. So this was a crazy. So like if I completely understand if you don't want to go through this process, because I would not have wanted to do it myself. Like if I knew that I was gonna be like, it's the weirdest thing, because like I have a lot of self-worth, I guess. Like I've always, like I know what I deserve, and I know when I'm being treated in a way that I don't deserve. And so like when I went into the interrogation, I didn't, like I actually felt a bit bad for the person who raped me, because not bad, but like I felt like I had such a great case that like I felt like it was a no-brainer, because he physically hurt me, and I also, this is also the thing, like I had a really good think about this, like I of course, sorry, I'm only talking about myself right now, but like my whole case was amazing. He hurt me physically. It was violent rape. I had I texted him afterwards, and I got on text, like he actually he said that he did it on text, like he wrote it to me. Like I talked to him, I wrote to him about it, like what had happened, and he was stupid enough to write back that that he was sorry for making me bleed, and that it was all, and again, like, because he's a psycho, he wrote that like it was hard for him too to see all of the blood, because it was it was unpleasant for him too to witness my bleeding, even though he created it. Like it was surreal, like this whole experience was so surreal, but then like I had that, like I took it with me to the interrogation with the police. I showed her the messages where he testifies for that where he is just admitting that he raped me, basically. And so I had that on text, and I thought, okay, yeah, I can use this, and then I also had one other thing, and then like he had a record for violence, which I figured out. Okay, I figured it out before, but I knew it already when we were dating. But so of course, yeah, maybe I should have seen it coming, I guess. But like he had a record. He punched some guy, and actually went to juvie for punching a guy, and so he already was in the files, and so why wouldn't they believe that he violently raped me when he's already a violent person, and that it's on. But yeah, it was such a surreal thing, because I felt like it was always already. I had already won the case. I felt like I had all the evidence that all the other rape victims didn't have. Like I actually had it on text, and also he had a past of violence, and so it seemed like a no-brainer. But like, and I went in with such confidence, just to have some idiotic police officer make me second guess myself, and make me feel like I didn't feel like it was my fault when I came in and talked to the police officer, but afterwards I felt like it seemed as if the police officer was really trying to make me feel like it was my fault. So like, I don't get, but yeah, that's enough about me. But so I completely understand if you don't want to go through that process. It's a very hard one, and it changes you. It makes you a completely different person afterwards. Like you see the world in a different way. You lose your purity, your innocence, the naivety that you used to have, where you believed that everyone in the system actually wanted the best for you, and where you believed that the police was on your side and that the legal system was on your side, and that you believed that you actually had some kind of chance to get justice, but you don't. And so it's this realization that usually, like, people shouldn't go through that. Really, people shouldn't realize that. They should live most of their life believing that the strangers in their life, especially the strangers that are meant to protect you, actually are gonna do their job to protect you. But but I'm gonna see if there's anything more, shuffle the cards some more, and see if there's something more about what's next in love for you. Maybe not the next 6 months, maybe the next year or so. Like, is there something maybe positive that's gonna happen soon or within the next year for you? 10 of Pentacles. It's 10 of... maybe not romance, but there is gonna be love in your life. But it's not... I'm not sensing that it's in the form of a relationship. And love is everything. Love can come in many forms, and it's sometimes it's more important to have supportive family members and supportive friends who love you and are there to help you and are there to support you. And so reaching out to them is very, like, especially if you are close to your family, don't hold yourself back from contacting them and getting their support. Maybe also be there for your family as well, as they support them and let them support you back. Like, be I'm just sensing that you need to have a closer bond with your family. Maybe go visit your nieces and nephews. Have some fun with them, play around with them, take them to the playground, have some ice cream with them. Sometimes children are the light of the world, and when we are depressed and when we feel like especially when we feel like the world is the worst place in the universe, I don't know if the world is the universe, I guess, but like when we feel like Earth is the worst planet in the universe, and we feel like everything that's happening is just horrible, when we lose our innocence and naivety, and when we start seeing how horrible people actually are, we need to hang out with some children. We need to, like, if you don't have children of your own, you need to find, like, not that, like, if there are no children in your family, then of course you're not supposed to go out just looking for some children at a playground to play with, but because don't do that. I don't think you would, though. It's just, but if you have nieces or nephews or uncles, or not uncles, that's like, but maybe your uncles have children, or your cousins have children, or like if there are, like, try to reach out to them and try to be a part of their life. Try to ask the people in your, like, their parents if you can take them out for ice cream or something like that, because first of all, the parents will love you for it. Like, they will be just go for it. That's awesome. Like because parents just need a break, and so it's a good deed as well. But it's also just sometimes we just need to see the world from a child's perspective and see that wonder and see how they are so trusting and so believing of good and believing that everyone around them are just there for them and to protect them and make them happy and make them and do things for them just for because they deserve it. Like you can learn a lot from a child because they believe they are deserving of everything, and of course, yeah, I think that is more important right now. Family is more important than romance right now. Of course, it would also be beneficial for you to have children of your own, but of course, everything in due time. So, yeah. And don't, like, you're not missing out. Don't feel like you're missing out on love. Don't feel like the clock is ticking, that you need to get out there right now because your eggs are rotting or whatever. Don't force yourself into anything, because it's not gonna end well if you do. It's not like you should be ready before you start anything. And also you can freeze your eggs, I guess. I don't know if it's just famous people who can do that. I haven't done my research about it, but it's probably very expensive to do so. But like, I don't know. With Eight of Cups reversed, it's the Lord of Abandoned Success, but it's reversed, and so I think you will get closure within the next year. I think you will get closure. You will be able to put this thing behind you. But you're not going to get there if you don't allow it to unfold naturally. If you don't force it, don't rush it. Give yourself as much time as you need. But I am sensing that you shouldn't be worried, because within the next year, you will naturally get closure. Like, there is gonna be a natural way for you to get closure. It could be because the person who hurt you will get their punishment, but it could also just be that you will be able to let it go, move on. And I think it will be a new start for you. It will be I think you will feel like you have a second chance on life. Right now it doesn't feel that way. Right now you might be in a very miserable state. But it will get better. It will get better. It might get a bit worse before it can get better, but it will get better. And you will get closure. And you will get healing. And you will move on from this. And it won't affect the rest of your life. So yeah. But I think that's all I have for you, group number 2. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, you can check the description box below for more info on how to buy one from me. And yeah, I hope to see you in my next reading. And yeah, bye. Hello, group number 3. You chose this the Tarot of a Moon Garden tarot deck, and I was drawn to use this tarot deck. Spirit told me to. When I found it in my box of tarot decks, I have a box, and I realized that there were 2 cards missing. I usually count the cards, and so there were 2 cards missing. So this already, like, it seems as if the reading has already been rigged from the get-go. This is always interesting. It has happened to me once before, where I haven't been able to find 2 cards, and it always has a significant meaning. I can't find the cards anywhere. I have been looking, but the 2 cards I checked which cards are missing, and the cards are Knight of Wands and 6 of Swords. So I sense that it could be a meaning, like it could have a significance for the reading, that those 2 cards are missing. It could be that a Knight of Wands, so maybe an Aries or a Sagittarius or a Leo in your life, that a person with a fire sign has left your life. Also with the 6 of Swords, it's about leaving. So I'm sensing that for some of you, it seems as if recently maybe, or in the past, someone has left your life prematurely, likely prematurely. You might not have wanted them to go. And so I think it kind of, it seems as if it has an effect on your immediate future as well, because it seems as if maybe that, it seems as if it, it's likely something that you've been, that you've been struggling with this. If it's not a fire sign, it could just be someone who was very impulsive or very spontaneous or very talkative, extroverted, a bit maybe suffering from some ADHD or something, like someone in your life who might have been very fun to be around. It doesn't have to be a romantic thing necessarily, but I'm just sensing that you are grieving some kind of loss here, that someone has stepped out of your life that was actually a bunch of fun for you. This could have been a woman too, a girlfriend of yours, like it could be a girlfriend or just a friend of yours who was a girl too. It could, someone, I'm just sensing it could have been someone you had a lot of fun with, a lot of good memories with, and maybe this person moved away or moved to a different location, not necessarily location, but also maybe you studied together, but then this person started studying somewhere else, or I'm just sensing that you might have lost a very important person in your life, someone you could have, someone you had a lot of fun things with, and someone you could go to a bar with on a Friday night or a Saturday night, like you just had to call them and they would be there. And that's also always a very, very important friend to have. Like it's always important to have that kind of friend, because it also determines the course of your love life. And so it is kind of an interesting thing here, because it might make sense why this is affecting your future love, that you've lost this friend, because this friend might have been the one who pushed you into doing things, and because they were a bit spontaneous and extroverted, they might have pushed you into doing stuff and going out and having fun and go to bars and go to parties and have more of a have more going on, really have more chances to actually find love. Maybe you don't have a lot of opportunities to find love as your life is now, because you've lost this friend who used to drag you to parties. So yeah, I'm sensing that will have a certain you have maybe lost a bit of your mojo, because you've lost your lucky charm. Like this person could have been your lucky charm. This person could have been a good wingman, could have been good at putting you up with other people, or putting you, or like encouraging you to go on blind dates or something like that. Maybe, and so maybe you're a bit stagnant right now, in a very stagnant energy, because you don't have that motivational factor, because your motivational factor was a human who was your motivational factor, and you might have lost that human. So yeah, so I'm sensing that if this person is not completely lost, like completely, then give this person a call. Like even if this person is living in a different town, or a different, like even though you are maybe living two different lives now, then it doesn't have to mean that you don't, that you're not, that you can't have those fun moments together again. And so I'm just sensing, like if everything's not completely lost, then try to resurrect this friendship or connection again. Call them up and ask if they want to go to a club, and also maybe like ask them if you can come stay with them for a night, and then you two can go out, maybe in this person's town. Like if this person has moved, maybe go there, travel there, even if it's far away, because maybe there are more options there, like for love. Maybe the bars in your local area might be same old, and maybe if you haven't found love in your local area, it might be a sign that maybe you're not gonna find it there. So yeah, or of course try to find some new friends instead of finding romance. Maybe find friendships, so that you can use, like find some friends that you can go to parties with, so that you can find love. Like sometimes we need that middleman. Sometimes we are not capable of finding love ourselves, and we need someone in, like especially if you're a bit of an introvert. All introverts need that extroverted friend that can drag them to parties. And so maybe find those that extroverted friend in your maybe you could actually go online. There are a lot of groups on Facebook and stuff like that that are dedicated to finding friends. And the fun thing about that is that the people who go on those in those groups are actually usually extroverts who are not who are a bit desperate because they are not comfortable being alone. And so I know that because like I know the only example I have is my mom, and of course that's a different generation, of course, and so it's of course a different thing for her. But my mom is very extroverted, like very like me and my mom is night and day. Like my mom is like she talks a lot. She's very so and very open and very funny and very like a very awesome person. And like you would actually think that she's like the last person on earth to go on Facebook groups to meet friends, because she's so extroverted and so easygoing, and she don't seem to have any issue finding friends like naturally by just being a very extroverted being. But she did that, and my mom has found a lot of friends through Facebook groups. A lot of friends that she talks to daily, and like it's actually a very beautiful thing that I would never ever think of doing myself, but maybe I will someday do that. But so like there's no shame in doing that. Like it's not necessary. Like it just goes to show that people actually need friends, and that and probably especially in the pandemic. Like my mom used to do this before the pandemic, but like I'm guessing that there's probably more of a market for it now. That there's probably more groups and bigger groups, and because people need to connect with each other, and they need to my point is that I think maybe go, like if you feel like it's very hard for you to find friends as it is now, then maybe try your luck on some Facebook groups. Or of course if you think it's lame, then there are other ways. Like you can go out, just maybe get a membership to some organization that has something or get into some community, maybe physically, like go to some events, social events, like lectures or something like that. Just get yourself out there and try. Like if you're not comfortable doing that alone, which is also very natural. So we have a hard time doing stuff alone, and that's why we need that friend that we can drag around. And that's also why extroverted people need introverted friends, because they also feel uncomfortable being alone at social events too, and so they need someone that they can drag along with them. And so it's kind of so I'm just maybe don't lose hope on finding friends. And I'm just sensing more that maybe this needs to be your priority. Finding a group of friends, or just that one friend that you can drag, or who can drag you to parties, or help you get yourself out there and start dating and being that pushy pushy friend for you. Because with Ace of Cups, love is there, love is out there. There are options for you, and they are waiting for you to, like, they are passively waiting for you to activate them. It seems as if there are love is there if you dare to put yourself out there. It is there. It's already in the world. You could find your next boyfriend or girlfriend tomorrow if you went to a bar. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting, is that, like, if you just have to take that step to put yourself out there, because I'm sensing it's a you problem and not it's the problem is that you are not putting yourself out there. It's not that there aren't options for you. There are plenty of options. The only thing that's holding you back is yourself. And that's also a natural thing. If you're one person who used to have this one great friend who helped you be social, and now you don't have that friend anymore, and you should also cut yourself some slack, and don't feel like you're it is hard. Like, sometimes we also have to go through that grieving process. Also with if the person we have lost was a friend of ours, that you still have to go through the grieving process. And sometimes for one of you, I feel like there is a specific message, and I feel like this is, I'm just gonna say it, it's not a general, I know it won't resonate with all of you, but I'm sensing that for one of you, you might have lost someone to death, like that the person has, that there's someone who used to be a very good friend of yours who has actually passed away. And that puts a whole new element into play, like, because if that resonates with you, then you might be the thing that might actually be holding you back is that you're not ready to form new relationships. You're not ready to have someone replace that person who used to be there. So you don't want to take just some randomo from the street and say, oh, now you're my friend and now we are going to parties. Like, maybe it's just a lot deeper, like the scar is deeper than that, and so it's not so easy to just put yourself out there when that person who helped you with doing that is not here. I'm sensing, if it's not a friend, it could have been an ex. It could also have been a family member, like a sibling of yours, who was very pushy and always pushing you to date other, or your mother, or to just, I'm just sensing there was a person in your life who was actually pushing you, and so now you don't have that person, and so it's hard to get back into the game when you've lost your hype man. So that's you don't take your time to grieve this. It might have been something that you haven't allowed yourself to grieve over. maybe you feel like other people have more of a right to grieve than you do, or something, like, especially if it's a friend, you might feel like it's harder on their family than it is for you, and so you're not, maybe you feel like your feelings are not, but your feelings are valid. Like, you are just as much allowed to grieve as everyone else. And but yeah, that's more specific for one of you. I just wanted to put that out there. For others of you, I'm sensing that this is likely someone who's actually living, but who is not available. Like, it's someone who's not available for you at the moment, maybe because they've moved away, or because maybe they have children, or so their life has changed dramatically. And even if that's the case, you're still allowed to grieve. Like, even if the person is not actually dead, you're still, like, it's okay to grieve a friendship that used to be different and now it's changed. But yeah, with a W here, like, I am sensing a lot of, you can see there's a W on the cup here, so it kind of makes me think of the internet, www, and so maybe you are supposed to either find friends on the internet or find love on the internet. Either way, I think you will find it. You will find love on the internet, if it's romantic love or if it's friendly love. I can't completely say which one it is, but it's gonna be love. Like, friendly love is also very important, a very important love. It's as I said before, sometimes what we need is a friend more than a lover. Sometimes relationships come with certain obligations, like, sometimes there are complications as well, like when we get in a relationship, certain things that needs to be discussed, certain things about dreams and wishes, and if they want children, or if they want to get married, if, like, there are all of these things that need to be talked about, and things that need to be discussed, and things that need to be taken into account, and in order to know what the other person is expecting from the relationship, and what the other person might not be expecting, and how those expectations might not be the same, or might be different, or might be the same, but a bit, maybe the time frame is a bit different for you than for the other person. And so it's kind of all, there's this mix, and, like, relationships can be a bit messy in that way, that they can be difficult to figure out, because there are so many aspects that need to be figured out, and sometimes we just need simplicity in our life. We just need a simple connection with someone, where you sometimes friendship can be the purest form of love, because it's that love where you support each other, help each other out, call each other when you need to discuss something, but where you're the shoulder to cry on, where it's a different kind of dynamic, and sometimes that's what we need. We need that person who can both be the shoulder to cry on, but also be that annoying person in our life that keeps pushing us to find love, or to get ourselves out there. And, like, sometimes we need that annoying friend who can also be the support system and the help and the whatever, but because it's very pure, it's very, like, friendship can be very pure and have those aspects of just wanting the best for each other, without selfishness, like total selflessness, like and so sometimes it's, yeah. With the Six of Pentacles, I am sensing that you are, that there are going to, like, maybe someone from, maybe this is a card that for those of you where this person is not out of reach, where this is someone like where this friend who you've lost contact with, or who has moved away, or they are not out of reach, you can still, it seems as if you can still you can still resurrect this. And if that's the case, I think you should maybe you feel like you would be wasting their time if you called them. Don't feel that way. I don't think this person would feel that way. I think this person might actually be expecting your call. Maybe they've been expecting your call for a long time. And that's like, okay, so a specific message is coming in now for some of you, or one of you. I'm gonna deliver it anyways, so if it doesn't resonate, then just close your ears. But I'm sensing that one of you could have issues with addiction, and might have had for a while now. You could be, so I think you have had a hard time coping, maybe with the loss of someone else. So it could have been, this person who you lost, it could have been a completely different person than this friend that moved away. Like it could be two different things, but you might have been very affected by some loss in your life, or something that went south in your life, and maybe you've used drugs or alcohol or something else in order to cope with that, which is not something to be ashamed of. It's natural, so don't be ashamed of that. I'm sensing that might be why this person is, like, this friend of yours who used to be a very close friend to you, but who you've lost contact with. They might be expecting your call because of this. Like, they are expecting you to call them up at some point, and like maybe they are waiting for you to get recovery, or maybe you said something the last time you spoke where maybe you went your separate ways because I'm not pinning this on you. I don't think that wouldn't be fair to you. But maybe you had different views on you. Maybe this person felt like you had a problem. Maybe you didn't feel like you had a problem at the time, and so you didn't see eye to eye because of that. Um, it seems as if, I think you believe there's bad blood between you two. I don't think there is. There's a dove here. You can see there's a dove on this card. I am sensing that this person is ready to have a peace offering, not or not that you should offer peace to them, or that they should, like, I'm just sensing that I think this person really wants you to see eye to eye again and become more whatever caused you to separate before. I think this person really wants you to figure it out and get past it and move past it. So that was a specific message for one or a few of you. So with the Five of Wands, it seems as if you have had certain you have certainly had a fight with this person. There has been some that doesn't mean it can't be resurrected or get new life into it. The relationship. So yeah, I'm sensing that there you have had a disconnect with a person. I'm not completely sure who this is. Like I was getting this feeling that it was a friend before, or first I felt like it was a person, like an ex or something. Then I felt like it was more of a friend. But then I went on to a sibling or a family member, or like some. But I'm a bit confused to the details of like who this is. But I am sensing that there is one person in your life who was a very big influence in your life, and I think you need to reconcile with that person. You need to call that person up. And I don't think this person, like, even though you had a fight, I think this person understands that it wasn't personal. Especially if this had to do with some issues that you were dealing with at the time. I think this person was able to distinguish between what was you and what was the broken you that was broken up about something, a loss or something in your life. And so if you said something mean to them, I think they knew that you weren't being serious, that it wasn't what you actually meant, that you were just very angry at the world and frustrated, and that there were a lot of feelings involved in this that didn't actually have a lot to do with them per se, but a lot of other things that were going on in your environment. Of course, for some of you, this person might have been the cause of the disagreement. And if that's the case, then it seems as if they don't really want to take accountability for it, which is a bad thing, but they still, like, they seem to still want peace. Like they want to figure this out. And become friends, or or lovers or whatever it was again. So yeah, definitely something from the past. So what's next in love is something from the past that will come again. And so again, the reading was rigged from the get-go, which means that, yeah, the course of your love life for the next few months is very much determined by the past. So it's something that, yeah, it seems as if it's someone from the past who's likely gonna come back into your life. Either, but I'm sensing that maybe you need to take the first step here. You might even need to give your peace offering, like you need to go out and apologize, even though you might not feel like it's your place to apologize. I don't know. But I'm just sensing that this is someone you would want in your life again. So maybe it's worth it to lose some of your own self-righteousness or whatever in order to actually start this again. And sometimes we need to lose our pride and just say that you're sorry, even though you feel like the other person should be the one apologizing. Then sometimes we need people, and holding on to certain things from the past might get in the way of the future unfolding in a much more positive way. And sometimes we need to choose our battles. I'm just sensing you want this person in your corner, because this person could be the person who either, if this was an ex, you could have a relationship with this person again, or more likely this was a friend who can actually lead you to your future boyfriend or girlfriend. So it's like this middleman that you might want in your corner, because they might lead you to where you need to be. So yeah. But I think that's all I have for you. No, but like definitely there is gonna be love, or there. If you put yourself out there, there is love for you, waiting for you. So, but yeah, but that's all I have for you, group number 3. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye. Hello, group number 4. You chose this Ramses tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So group number 4, the people who will choose group number 4. Group number 4. What's next in love for group number 4? What's gonna happen next in group number 4's love life? Okay. So yeah, you're definitely, there's gonna be romance, but I'm sensing like an interesting situation here, because I heard that you're going to be the Yoko Ono, like in the Beatles, that you're gonna get in the way of the band. Like you're gonna split the band up. So, okay, interesting. So I'm like, or vice versa. Like if you're in a band right now, it could be that you will find your Yoko Ono. But I'm sensing more the opposite, like that you will find someone who's maybe in a band, and or something like that. So this person could be a musician. And if it's not a musician, it could just be someone who has who is in some kind of group with their friends, and it's a very, like, they are doing something important together, like working on some kind of project together, and so you will get in the way of the project that they are doing together. That could also be the story, but I'm just sensing that you will kind of split up the band. So. But it's true love, like that. It's wonderful. It seems romantic. It seems very likely that you will quite soon find your soulmate, like the person that you will end up with forever, who will be your partner in crime, like the person who will, like, yeah, like a very soul, like a soul connection, where maybe other people won't understand you two, like that sort of dynamic where they will be where you will be the Bonnie to their Clyde or whatever, like that you will be, that you will have this understanding of each other that other people won't understand, that you will have something together that other people won't understand. So you might have to fight certain people in your environment for this. It seems as if what's next in love could be some conflicts going on, because maybe you have already met this person. I'm sensing that for some of you might have met this person recently, so you practically just started dating. For some of you, and maybe you already know that there are certain things about this person that your friends or your family are not going to like. Maybe something about their religion, culture, or their personality, like something about them where maybe this, maybe there's just something about them. Maybe they have long hair, and so maybe that will be something that your parents would think is a bit weird, or that this person is a heavy metal singer in a heavy metal band, or something that maybe your parents wouldn't agree with, or wouldn't accept that, or wouldn't understand why you find that attractive, or that this person is a hippie, or that this person is a lost cause in some way, where maybe this person is an outcast in society, or I don't know, but I am sensing sensing some romance happening already for some of you, but if not, I think it's gonna happen quite soon. So it's Ten of Wands. Ace of Wands. And the Tower. Sorry, the Moon. Of course, the Moon. I was a bit... These cards are a bit hard to read because, of course, there are towers, but like the artwork doesn't really, like, of course there is a moon, but there are actually moons on other cards as well, so it's kind of hard to determine, but this is the moon. But yeah, I am sensing that with the Ten of Wands, yeah, you will be kind of busy. A busy energy here, a lot on your plate, and so that is in terms of love, like in your love life. So it's not that you're gonna be busy at work. It's not that you're gonna be busy with studying. It seems as if you're gonna be busy with love in the next few months, or 6 months from now, or something like that. Not that far away in the future, but still kind of very close, because 6 months are not very long. But I'm just sensing that, like, quite relatively in a relatively short amount of time, you will you will fall in love with someone, truly fall in love, perhaps for the first time, like really fall in love with someone. I'm hearing the song, like the fall in love with someone, you fall in love with someone you shouldn't fall in love with, or whatever. Of course that's not you, but I've made it, I changed the lyrics, I guess, in order to make it fit. I don't think I did. I don't remember the lyrics. Yeah, it is you in the lyrics, I think. Yeah, but whatever, it doesn't matter. But it seems as if it's someone you might not have wanted to, or that you will fall in love with someone that you shouldn't have fallen in love with, and so of course that's a bit of a bummer. But it's maybe not your perception of this. Maybe it's other people, like the environment will look at this relationship and think like that was someone you shouldn't have fallen in love with. So it could, there seems to be certain things about this connection that will be perceived as not completely ideal. But of course it's a violent card, and don't be alarmed by this, but because it's a Yoko Ono thing still, like that was the first thing that came through, and that was not a violent relationship, quite the opposite. So why, I don't think that's the thing, but again, it could be the environment. Like, there are so many misconceptions about heavy metal bands. Like, if this is someone who's in a heavy metal band, I don't know why that is, it seems as if that's coming in quite strongly, so it seems that could resonate with quite a few of you. Obviously there are a lot of heavy metal bands out there, so it's not unlikely, but heavy, of course, if your parents would hear about you being in a relationship with someone who is in a heavy metal band, maybe they would assume that that person is violent because they sing about violence and death and the devil and blood and killing people and sucking their blood and sacrificing lambs and more blood. And of course that could there is certain undertones to heavy metal music that might make people think that maybe it's not really that lovey-dovey. Of course, no one really knows what they are singing in those, because like who can tell if what they are really singing about? They could, the most heavy metal bands could be singing about romantic love and butterflies and turtle doves and swans, and but no one would know because they don't. No one can hear what they sing. But of course, yeah. So there might be something about this person that might trigger other people to think that they are actually bad for you, that they are a bad influence on you, and that you should find someone cute and nerdy instead, who's in accounting and wears a suit for work every day, and who's more like normal in a way. Where but that's maybe not what you're interested in, because you're a dark person too, and you like the dark arts and magic and tarot and getting into the occult. And so why wouldn't you want to be with someone from a heavy metal band? Because that's certainly in the same genre, I guess. Like it breached out of the same stem. So two peas in a pod, I guess. So why? In a way, I think you would be a very, very good match. Yeah, like Yoko Ono was a very good match to John Lennon too, because she was a bit crazy and John Lennon was too. And they had their peace and hippie thing going on that they both had, and they both had the long hair and yeah, but had the same sort of wackiness that no one else understood, but they understood each other, and that's the important thing. And so you can say that Yoko Ono was the influence to John Lennon, and that she was the one who planted the strange ideas in his head. But really, they could have already been there. He just needed a counterpart to play ball with, and in order to intensify what was already there. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. And who's the influence of who? Like why? But I'm just sensing that, yeah, you will have to fight a bit for this, and you will have to explain to people why you're attracted to this person and why you want to get married to them one day, and you will have the most awesome wedding. I'm sensing, like I don't know why I got a few like pictures of your wedding, and I'm sensing like it's gonna be like you're gonna have an awesome wedding, because this person has a lot of very interesting friends. Like this person knows a lot of people, maybe from the heavy metal scene. Or just like if this person is not in a heavy metal band, it could be that he's in some kind of other band or in some kind of underground group of people where so they just know a lot of people. They know a lot of strange people with mohawks, and people with a lot of like. I'm just sensing that like your wedding is gonna be very like it's gonna be very colorful in the way that like it's not gonna be colorful like everyone is gonna be dressed in black and stuff like that, but it's gonna be very colorful, a very colorful range of people, like very different types of people in the same place, and so. A lot, like I'm just seeing a lot of men in suits where it just seems as if like it doesn't really make sense, because like the suit doesn't make sense on them because of the mohawk and the piercings and the tattoos and the like. I'm just sensing like this culture. The culture, what's it called, like a culture shock or whatever, like two cultures going, yeah. But I am sensing that like you're gonna find someone quite soon who's really interesting, like who knows a lot of interesting people, and who is a part of this whole other world that maybe you don't really know very well, but like it's a very interesting underground kind of world, and it's gonna be exciting and you're gonna love it. And even if it's not gonna last, even though I don't see any reason why it shouldn't, it's gonna be a very great experience. I am seeing that you're gonna get married, and so I am sensing that in the future you are, like I am sensing that for most of you this could actually be like a forever kind of thing. But for others of you, like if you're gonna take a break like in the middle and then get back together, that it's not the end of the world, because I am sensing a very strong, you're gonna have a strong connection. But yeah, Ace of Wands, yeah, you're something is gonna like, something is gonna like, there's gonna be a spark in your love life very soon. Like there's some fire is gonna be lit under your ass, and you're gonna be passionate about love for the first time, very likely. So, and it's gonna be real. It's gonna be real. But it's also gonna be fueled by rebellion, which is also a good thing in a way. Like I think the more that you're gonna fight for this connection, the more you're gonna stay with it. Like the more you're gonna be invested in it. So it's actually a good thing that everyone is gonna be nagging about this, because the more they nag, the stronger the connection becomes. And so the more people criticizing, the more the closer you get together. And so it's actually a good thing. Like you can see this couple here on the wall here, like there is a certain aspect that's just written in the stars. Like you you were meant to find this person, and you were meant to be this odd couple, and this is it's very likely your soulmate. Forever kind of soulmate, like, because it seems as if it's your love story, it's what's already written about you in the Book of Enoch or whatever. That is a very, very faulty. Scratch that, because that's just silly. But yeah, I don't know. But there is certain a certain, like, this is the plan. This is the plan. It's your destiny to find this person, and it's gonna be. It's definitely gonna be a soulmate connection. I don't know if you found this person yet, because this person here, like, that is the person, like, not really, but like, try to imagine that this person is actually the person on the wall, looking for love, not finding it, but it's there, like, it is. So I'm sensing that you are maybe looking for it, not finding it, but it is, like, if you just looked up, maybe look up right now, and you will see it. Maybe there is a sign around you right now, in the room that you're in right now. I don't know. That might be a hint that the person is already there around you. Like, maybe you just haven't discovered this person yet. But I don't know. So with the moon, I am sensing that you're likely gonna find this person at night, midnight, or later. Like, maybe if you haven't met this person yet, it might be someone you will find or meet in the middle of the night at a bar, or at a party, or at some kind of concert or festival, but maybe it will be at night, or maybe if you've already met them, you might have met them in the night time. Of course, that is their jam. I think this person's jam is the night, and a nocturnal person. You are too. It seems as if you might be. You might like the night time as well. But I'm also sensing that this could, like, there's a full moon on the card, and so maybe the next full moon, or the last full moon, or some full moon, like, you might have met this person, or you might meet this person on a full moon. This person could be a werewolf. I don't think so. But in case, don't meet them at a full moon. Meet them at a half moon, or a new moon, or whatever. But I don't know. There's no such thing as werewolves. I'm just being silly. I don't know. But there's also, like, in this card here, that there are these people who are in these, like, these icons, these people who are in these showcases. dead people, I guess, like mummies that are in showcases, like for everyone to see. I don't know if this is about like how that this person could be a bit of an icon, or in a way, or that this person has some kind of like that this person is well known in some way in their field, or maybe that their band is a bit that their band has gotten some kind of recognition from the public. So this person could be a bit of a public figure already, or just in their underground community. But I'm also sensing something about that this could be that this is a bit weird, but like when I think of like people inside showcases, I think of a mall, like with the windows in the stores, and so this person could have a daytime job where they work as a work in a store, and of course that's also very typical. Like someone that's not the most ridiculous thing that could occur. Like that someone who's a heavy metal singer at night and then go and work at Walmart in the day. That's everyone has to do whatever it takes to make a living, and so it's not far off. But also that with the mummies, like this person could be in some kind of, like if this person is in a heavy metal band or a rock band or punk band or whatever, they could have the name of the band could have something to do with mummies, like a mummy rising from the dead, or something that could go down to about like something about Egyptian whatever. Egyptian myths, something about the goddesses, Egyptian goddesses, or gods, like the Osiris, or so like the band could have a name that has something to do with Osiris. Of course, there's already a band called Osiris. This could be a cover band, very unlikely. But no. There could also be some something about I don't know. But there is a what's it called? The hippo. There's a hippo on the card too, and that could be it kind of gives me an association to Taurus for some reason, and that could be that this person is a Taurus, which kind of fits with this with the band and the singing, and it's not an unusual thing that a Taurus is in a heavy metal band. It's actually quite likely that that's the case, because it's very I don't know why, but that's just a match made in heaven. I don't know what it is, but so this could be a Taurus. It could also be like with a hippo. This person could have a larger physique, like it could be either very broad or very tall, or a bit overweight, but that's not unusual either. If that, like for people who are in heavy metal bands. That's also a thing that, especially the singers, that like sometimes you get more volume to your voice when you are. I don't like, that's just the opera singer thing, and so I get it. I guess that it fits also for heavy metal singers as well. That there's more volume to the voice if you are a bit overweight. But yeah. But I'm definitely getting that there's gonna be excitement going on. Something exciting is gonna happen in your love life very soon, and it's gonna be wonderful, and it's gonna be what you have been waiting for, and it's gonna be true love. You're gonna fall in love with someone, fall in love with someone, fall in love with someone you shouldn't have fallen in love with. But it's gonna be good. It's gonna be like that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, it's gonna be exciting. Sometimes the excitement lies in the thrill of it all, and you're gonna get married. It's actually gonna be a very lovey-dovey story that doesn't really fit into this heavy metal shit. But I'm sensing a lot of romance, a lot of like this person has a soft side. Of course he does, because of course he's a typical softy nerd type who just who played way too much World of Warcraft as a child, and of course ended up in a heavy metal band. It's like, when you actually know a lot of people who are in heavy metal bands or who are into heavy metal bands, you kind like the mystery goes away, because you know that these all of them, like, no, there's no exception, all of them used to play World of Warcraft, and that's just kind of fucks with the illusion, but it's gonna be wonderful. I am really sensing that this is gonna be a new, of course, a bit difficult in the beginning, but it's mostly fighting with the environment. But it will make you closer as a couple, and it's gonna be wonderful. And with the moon as well, like, you're gonna take charge, especially if you're a woman. If you're a man, you're gonna be completely submissive, which is also fine. Like, but if you're a woman, I think you are gonna be dominant in this, and you're gonna. You have the power to split the band if you wanted to. If you don't want to do that, you can also not do it. But like, that's also the thing. Like, Yoko Ono was a very, very strong woman who actually had a lot of power, and so the power should be used wisely. But I am sensing that you will have a lot of power in this relationship. You're not gonna be like, this person is not gonna beat you up. This person is not that type of person. It's more likely that you will beat them up, but you're not gonna do it. I don't think so. But like, this person is not a wife beater. They are not. No, this person is too much of a nerd. This person is not like they. No. I don't think so. Kind, soft soul, who was just born with a very cool voice, and that's also like, that's a blessing and a curse, but obviously quite talented, which is admirable. Yeah, I think that's all I have for you, group number 4. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye. Hello, group number 5. You chose this the Cook's Tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So group number 5, the people who will choose group number 5, what's next in love for group number 5? What's next in love for group number 5? I heard Billy Idol, so I guess this could be my same-sex group. So some of you could be homosexuals or have a different sexual orientation than heterosexuality. You could be bisexual, pansexual, transsexual. Also, there could be like the what's it called, the brain thing where you're attracted to the mind of a person instead of like I never know the word. It's every time I Google it, I think like, oh, that makes sense. Like that word makes sense. But then I always forget about it afterwards. So, but yeah. I'm sensing that like what's next in love is that you will probably have. I'm going to channel a bit more. So group number 5. What's next in love for group number 5? Custody. So, what's custody? That's not a word, is it? Custody. That's a weird. Chastity. Chastity. That's about not having sex. Is it not purity or being? So I'm not sure. Sorry, sometimes I get some words that I don't know the meaning of. Forgive me for that. I'm not a dictionary, even though the spirit thinks I am. So yeah, that's my battle with the whatever. So. But so there could be like your what's next in love could be a bit of a dry spell. It's not necessarily a bad one because it could be just exactly what you need in order to figure out yourself and figure out what you want and who you are and figure out things. Maybe also figuring out what you are attracted to. Maybe you have lived your whole life not really asking yourself that question. Like, what is it actually that you want? Like, maybe you have had relationships in the past, or maybe you've dated some people in the past where it was all about them, like where you tried to be something for someone else and you tried to change yourself in order to be what the other person wanted. And maybe it's your turn to ask yourself, but what do you want? Like, what is it that you desire? What are you attracted to? What do you like also sexually? Like what and maybe pursuing that proudly pursuing what it is that you are attracted to. Sometimes it can get lost in societal norms, what we believe that other people expect from us, and sometimes it's hard to navigate in what we've been indoctrinated to like. Sometimes when we have been raised in a certain way, we think that is the only way to live, that the only way, maybe some of you come from a religious family, or a very conservative family, or something like that, and so maybe you have been raised to believe that the only thing that's correct is normal, or not, but like that you believe it's normal for a woman and a man to be in a relationship, and everything else besides that is abnormal. Of course, I am just sensing that there are a lot that there are a lot of things that you know that you like, you know that you are affected by your parents, or how you were raised, or that you're affected by society. And I think you know that there's a lot that you need to detangle. Like, there's a lot of tangled shit around that's just tangled up in shame, and believing that certain things are shameful and certain things are not. And so it always gets really messy when there's shame involved. But I'm just sensing here that, like, you're not allowing yourself to see all the options, because you have certain things from the past that you need to, like, certain things from your childhood maybe that needs to be fixed or repaired, or I'm just sensing that that you need to come to terms with who you are, and I think you will have a very good opportunity to do that in the next few months, where you will have time to just discover certain things about yourself. I'm just sensing that that's the advice maybe as well for you, that maybe take this time and just figure out what you like, what you desire, what you're attracted to. And of course, I've never really understood, like, even though I'm a Christian, and so I do have certain indoctrination in regards of believing that a man and a woman should be together, but I don't. I also understand the biological advantages of that sort of arrangement, but in my perspective, I'm probably I don't know what sexuality I have personally, I don't struggle with it because I'm just more thinking that like I will figure like that will come. Like I've never actually fallen in love with anyone in my life, and so I've never had that experience. If I fall in love with a woman in the future, then okay, then I'll take it from there. If I fall in love with a man, then okay, I'll take it from there. Like I'm just waiting for that to happen, like the falling in love. And so, of course, if we don't allow ourselves to have that sort of journey where we allow ourselves to be open to whatever comes in, of course that will maybe lessen our chance to actually find that love, because of course I won't fall in love with a woman in the future if I don't pursue women in the same way that I pursue men, and that is also what I do. But I've been on Tinder and had like the both. Of course, I think everyone has done that, but like I've just put both genders in because then there's double the options. But also that I wouldn't want to miss out, and maybe I also have that kind of fear of missing out in a way where if I want to have every option open, just because like if I fall in love with, I want every kind of option to fall in love, especially because I'm a bit desperate, because I've never actually fallen in love, and I'm 26, and so there's also a possibility that I don't fall in love with anyone, because there could be. I'm also open to the fact that maybe I'm asexual, but that's my thing. But again, back to you. I think you have certain things that you need to figure out about yourself, especially in order to be open to whatever comes in. And maybe you should have all the options open, because you don't have to you don't have to necessarily come to terms with your sexuality, or like you don't have to pick and choose before. Like you can just have you don't have to pick one. You can just have all the options open. And I don't know, but I'm just sensing that maybe it's a good thing for you. That maybe this is the advice, that maybe keep all options open, because maybe as it is now, maybe you feel like this reading does not resonate with you one bit, because maybe you feel like you're heterosexual and you've never been in any doubt about that. If that's the case, maybe you should have certain doubts. Maybe you shouldn't be so quick to rule the other gender or the same gender out, like rule a whole bunch of people out before they even enter the competition. Maybe keep all options open, because it doesn't necessarily make you a lesbian or make you a homosexual or make you but just because you humor the idea doesn't have to, you don't have to. It doesn't have to become your identity just because. I don't really understand why we have to make sexuality our identity. I don't understand why it should be such a big deal. Just because, maybe I'm probably a lesbian. Yeah, I guess. Probably always have been, but I don't really want to identify as that, because not because I'm ashamed of it, but because if I did do that, then I would rule all the rest of the field out. Like, I don't want to go out and be openly lesbian, because then what if I fall in love with a man in the future? And so, like, there's no coming back from. Of course, I'm very sorry if you already like have had your. This is probably not something you would want to hear if you have already had your coming out party and you have already had that going on. And so if I say now that, okay, yeah, but keep all options open, that could maybe be a bit like... But I'm just sensing that whatever you're looking for, that it's not necessarily bad to maybe also look at the other, look in the other direction too, just to have all options open. With the Queen of Swords, I am sensing that there could be a woman in your life who might be a very good friend of yours, who could be an air sign, a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, and maybe you're very good friends, and maybe she sees you as more than that, and maybe you need to recognize that she might have certain other intentions with this than just a friendship, and maybe humor the idea for a second. Just like think about it, like for a second, if you feel the same way. If you don't, be blunt about it. Don't. It might be a good idea to just be direct about it, in a way that's, of course, is like where you spare her feelings, but. But I am like, don't rule it out just because it doesn't fit your identity. If you've made your sexuality your identity, if you are a woman who feels like you're heterosexual and so you're not interested in other women, maybe like give this thought a thought. Like give it a I'm just sensing that you shouldn't rule it out. And if you're a man and you're a proud homosexual, maybe don't rule it out either. Like, I'm not saying you're not a homosexual. You are, but you could be bisexual, and maybe, but again, if you're not interested in this person, again, that you don't have to be, but I'm just sensing that maybe you're not seeing the potential in this person because of your sexuality. And maybe that barrier needs to be broken down for a moment, just so that you can humor the idea. That's just but because this person could be a very, very good person. This person could, she doesn't have to be a she. It could be a he, but the queen is usually a she. Of course, in the terms of LGBTQ and all of that, of course, that is the context of the reading. The queen can be everything. So that could also just be in this context, it could be a queen. I said that in another reading where I said, like, where I read queen as queen as a queen, like in the homosexual community, calling each other queens and stuff like that. And I got a lot of people. It is a minefield. I know. I realize that now, and I shouldn't I should step very wisely, because if you call someone a queen, that is, you're gonna get it. People are gonna be mad at you, and so I'm not, it's just it's a minefield. But yeah, it could be a man, a homosexual man as well. This could, of course, with the Billy Idol in the beginning. Of course, Billy Idol, was he necessary? I don't really know if was he even gay? Like, or was he just like? I don't remember. Like, but I'm just sensing that there could be this person who's it could be a man or a woman, this queen. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, or someone who is very smart, someone with a high IQ, someone who is maybe wears glasses, like in the picture, but also it's like I'm sensing like the librarian. This person looks a bit like a librarian. I don't know if this person is a librarian, the person in your life, but this person could be like a bookworm, someone who reads a lot, someone who studies a lot, someone who's very dedicated to studying. So it doesn't have to be an Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, but could also just be someone particularly smart. But I am sensing it's someone close to you. It's someone you already know. Could be someone you're studying with, a study buddy of yours. So I am just sensing that there is someone who is already in love with you, but I'm not sensing that you are completely seeing it, and I don't know if it's because you just don't see her or him as an option for whatever reason. But what else is, like, what's gonna happen next for you, group number 5? Group number 5. Group number 5. Group number 5. What's next in love for group number 5? King of Swords. So yeah, it could be a queen or a king of swords. So that kind of determines what I was already saying before, but like that this person doesn't have to be a female, it could be a male too. Again, with the same characteristics as I mentioned before. 2 of Swords and 2 of Pentacles. So it seems as if this is someone who you're not completely sure about this person. Maybe this person has given you certain doubts, or maybe you are in doubt of your own feelings towards a person. So like if you're attracted to them, you might be a bit puzzled by this because it's not the usual person that you're attracted to, and so it doesn't fit the pattern, and so it feels like the odd man out. It feels like there must be something that it must be something else, that maybe this person reminds you of your dad or of your mother, and that there's something completely different thing going on beneath the surface, that that it's actually not true sexual romance or sexual attraction, that it's actually just something else. And maybe that is what maybe you are the Queen of Swords or the King of Swords. Maybe you are overthinking this to oblivion, and maybe you should stop overthinking this and just do something about it instead of just thinking about all of these worst case scenarios. I feel like there are a lot of things that you're thinking about when it comes to this person, and it seems as if it doesn't really have anything to do with this person. It seems as if it has something to do with you and what you feel like, and that's kind of why I feel like it must have the issue must be sexuality, because that's the only thing that I can think of right now that would make you feel like you're not allowed to have these feelings, because because it says something about you that you're attracted to this person, that it reflects badly on you. Of course, this person could also be just like there could also be something else going on with this person. Like, this person could be the bad boy or the bad girl type, and so you feel like you're going down a pattern of just always falling in love with someone who's a drug addict, or that you have some kind of savior complex, that is what is... but that's the only thing, that's just what it is, that you're just... that maybe your father or your mother was an alcoholic or a drug addict, so you're so you're just repeating the same old pattern and going for the thing that that makes you comfortable because it's what you're used to, and so you're not really attracted to them, but you're just seeing like that it's maybe a karmic, but I'm just not sensing that that's the case. I think that's your brain going, your brain is just being fried up because of this connection. That's the strong connection. It seems as if there could be a strong connection here, but you're not allowing yourself to be connected to this person. You're not allowing yourself to be attracted to them for whatever reason. It seems as if you are the one on the brakes. You're the one not really allowing this beautiful thing to blossom because of something. Like, you keep making all these excuses that there's actually no attraction there, that it's just because of this and that, and that it's just but what if it's just normal sexual attraction? But of course, if you're really afraid that is the case, then like it doesn't reflect badly on you. Like, who you fall in love with doesn't say anything about you personally. So you shouldn't identify with it. And that is both if this is like a sexuality thing, that this person is the same sex as you, and so it's like bad, or that it's something that's not supposed to be in your belief system or whatever. Or this could be the bad boy, that you feel like is a cliche, that you would fall in love with that person, or that this is the addict and that you're repeating some pattern, and that you feel like that's just the cliche thing to do, and that there must be something wrong with you if you keep that it's some issue that you have within you. But no, that's kind of a dick move to say that about a person, that the only reason why you fall in love with them is that they remind you of your broken relationship with your dad. It is kind of making it into something that is smaller than is dignified, I feel like. But fall in love with the people you fall in love with. Don't feel like there's so much shame around love, and sometimes love is just love, and sometimes we just, even if it's an addict, who cares? Like what? It's not a bad decision to start a relationship with an addict. It's actually, and it's not necessarily a savior complex. It can just be love, pure love, that is unconditional, and that is not, like, it's not perfect, but no relationships are perfect, and you, sometimes love can just be so pure that it can accept the worst thing in a person, and sometimes people who have certain demons are also have the right to have a person in their life who embraces them and embraces their darkness and their demons, and who understands them, and who helps them. And like, it's not necessarily a savior complex, and a savior complex is not necessarily a bad thing, just because we want to help people become better, and especially people that we love. Why would that be a bad thing? Yeah. Embrace love. Allow love to happen. Even if it's someone who's not your typical type. Allow it to unfold. Yeah. I am sensing that what's next in love for you is a certain revelation, certain person will appear to you who is already in your life, but you will see them in a different light as soon as you get this revelation where you start opening yourself up to love. That could also just be like, it doesn't have to anything to do with sexuality or shame or anything. It could just be that you are not open to love right now, and that your heart needs to be opened up to love again, and so it might be something like that. But I think you will, as soon as you open your heart, you will realize that love is very close to you. Maybe even right in front of you. And you will see an option in a person that you might not have seen as an option before. Yeah. That's all I have for you. Group number 5. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, you can check the description box below for more info on how to get that. And yeah, I hope you will watch my next video here on this channel. And yeah, bye.